Leduc, Alberta. This is the Curling Stadium Alberta Curling Series Major. This is a C qualifier game between Dallan Muyres and Rylan Kleiter. My name is Sean Murray. I'm joined again by Mark and Go.
Yeah, glad to be here. It'll be a good game for me to watch. I'm not too familiar with these two teams.
A couple of Saskatchewan teams in this one. Kleiter with the hammer in this first end.
It's a little bad luck there. Stuffs it on the back one, so getting some sort of double.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough break on that one. Advantage Kleiter early on. Hit this and try to roll away. Roll to the left as we look at it. This has some curling to do, though.
Touch wide, yeah.
This.
Ooh.
Do push it far enough to leave it sitting third shot. Not quite the way they drew it up, though.
No. Looking to see if the double's there, but yeah, and he's gonna take on this little slash here.
Yeah, it's there, but you've got a hard time holding your shooter doing this.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's overly concerned about that. Dallan's happy to just blank this end if it comes to it. The way it was shaping up early.
Oh, stepping back here, maybe looking at this hit and roll.
Yeah, I guess they talked about it a little bit and gonna hit this back one. Maybe try to use that other yellow stone as a bit of a guard, get a couple sunk behind that. Well, it's just going to hit and roll out. Not much else to do except just put it back where it was. One of only a few times that you'll see a team actually want to place it behind the tee line.
Yeah. And that's just so there's too steep of a double, yeah.
Yeah, it's just to make the angle such that a double is really, really hard.
This looks touch heavy, but should check up. We'll see if he goes back to third shot, though.
Well, I think I don't know, it's close. My first instinct was that it slid just a bit too far, but don't know if this camera's directly over the pinhole or not.
Yeah. It's kind of important because it, right, it makes the decision, right? You're either playing the slash or you're either playing hit and roll. But,
Yeah, I mean, if you're second, if Myers' second shot, he can hit and roll to the other side of the house and maybe sit 2. And I feel like if you're not sure either way, you kind of have to play it as though they're sitting 2.
yeah, I think that's fair.
Because you'd certainly hate to try that hit and roll and hit a little too much of that yellow and then just stuff it on your back one. That would not be a good result.
Looks like I'm taking quite a bit of ice here, so maybe just through weight here.
I think he's throwing a quiet hit, and he's going to try to hit over top of that red and roll to the side. Based on that, I think Dallan thinks that he is second shot. So yeah, just throwing maybe hack to an easy board on this.
Yeah.
Hit half a rock, roll over to the right. Sit your 2 and maybe get the force on.
Nice view of the one back there. Speakers don't look overly concerned about this, but
Nicely done.
Yep. I'm looking for kind of a similar shot the other way, yeah? Just the hit and roll back.
Yeah, I think that's the best. You can't really, if you hit it on the other side, yeah, you'll miss your back one, but you might not stay shot. Try to quiet weight. Hit it out cleanly, miss your back one, try to roll over to the right and at least sit shot and make Dallan have to do it again. Pretty open house, no guards in place, so not really a steal risk at all. This is just about trying to force a mistake and maybe getting a 2 out of it.
Yeah. Definitely one of the more interesting opening ends we've seen so far today.
It does look like Team Kleiter is playing 3-handed. Not sure why that is, if anyone has an insight into why they're down a guy.
Oh, that's interesting. I could have sworn they had 2 guys sweeping earlier. So maybe this is just a temporary? Who knows?
Yeah. I'm sure someone can let us know if they know. So makes the hit and avoids the jam. Probably would have liked to have rolled just a little bit further, but it's pretty good where it is.
Yeah, pretty good, but I mean, still possibility of a double and roll and keeping the shooter.
Well, I don't think he's going to be trying the double here. If again the way he's playing, he must think he's second shot in the back. So you want to hit this one just
clean,
a teeny little touch on the center line side. Try to roll to the other side of the center, perhaps, and then make any attempted double on the reds for a possible 2 as difficult as possible.
Yeah, I suppose you risk jamming it or stuffing it straight back on that yellow, and then for sure.
Exactly. It's a pretty simple 2 at that point. Actually, they are playing the double. Oh, you called it.
Called it. It's
what did
the
we
commentator
say?
curse.
I was going to say, what did we say last time we did this about the commentator's curse?
And I didn't even think about when you said it looked like a sure deuce that end, and sure enough, burnt rock comes into play.
Yeah. Well, at least this time it's your fault, not mine.
It's
small favors.
This one's on me.
All right. So as it happens, patient end by Team Kleiter, and now they've got a draw for 2. Just need to get to half the 8-footer better.
Yep, I'm just seeing one sweeper out here, so maybe they are playing three-handed.
I think that's why you've seen 2 sweepers, because the thrower is getting up and
Yep,
joining.
yep. Coming in just nicely. Well managed by.
Yep, that gets in there for the 2 points, so early advantage Team Kleiter. Team Dallan Muyres will have the hammer in the second end, looking to put up a 2 of their own. We'll have that for you right after this. All right, back for the second end. The Saskatchewan matchup, Team Dallan Muyres versus Team Rylan Kleiter in the Curling Stadium Alberta Curling Series Major. My name is Sean Murray, again joined by Mark Go. Team Muyres now with the hammer. They'll be looking to respond after giving up that 2 in the first end.
Yeah, a couple, tough breaks in that end. Just a couple shots jammed.
It was one of those ends where it really could have gone either way. It was a matter of who made the first half shot. Team Kleiter setting up with their almost center guard, and they come around it pretty nicely. Muyres going to ignore that, go right around the corner that he established.
Got a bit of room here to go. Looks to be finishing, but maybe just a bit high. Oh, I guess we'll take another corner.
saying it looked a little bit on the light side, but that's not bad where it is. That's still a guard. It's still usable. Covers up shot stone nicely. Myers definitely has to open this up, get play away from the center. Get this just right, you can get all 3 yellows moving.
How's that going to be? Are they ever going to want to just try to roll the shooter over into another corner, or is it more important to get 2 here?
If they hit it where they want, the shooter's going to be going over there anyways. The main objective is to get the 2 guards out of the way. One, just like that.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
well done.
They hit just a little bit more of that. They actually get all 3 yellows out. So really, really nice shot there.
Looking to put back the guard here. Now, are you wanting to just cover, 3/4, maybe shade it a little bit more towards getting to the center line, or just dead cover it?
You did. Mostly you want to dead cover it, but if you leave either side exposed, you want to leave the side exposed that is not where the corner guards are. So more towards the center than anything, because what you don't want to do, guard half a rock and then leave Team Myers a potential hit and roll over to those guards. Yeah, just like that. So they can see the stone, but it's not on the side where the guards are. So that keeps the play away from the corner, which is what Team Kleiter is looking for. This is making a big move. Look at that finish. Wow, it's almost all the way to the nose. Really nice.
Now, I was watching the sweepers there holding up a 1 as they let it go. Is that in reference to some sort of, weight calling system for their hits?
My guess is that they were signaling that it was up from what was called.
Oh,
saying it was heavy. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah, like if, say, for example, hack weight was called and it was thrown as board weight or something like that. Just saying that the weight's a little up, just to let the skip know.
Gotcha.
This has to curl to make contact, and man, there was a lot of finish hogline in.
Yeah,
that didn't even look like it was hitting it.
Yeah, that seemed lighter, and yeah, they get there.
That's definitely a spot that teams will want to watch. It's finish really. You see 2 in a row, really, really big finish on that. Well, 6 feet out from the hogline, it's not even making contact, and then it finishes in and hits a solid half rock, if not more.
You like this better than wrapping the corner?
Now Team Myers with an opportunity to roll behind the guard somewhere. Roll behind the center, or if you hit it just right and it's rolling good, you can get all the way over the corners. That's a much tougher shot, though. You hate to roll out.
Sweeper's indicating this one's up, and got to push it over a little bit.
Just got to curl this.
Ooh, you can't miss on this side.
Yeah, that's definitely an unforced error on that one.
Kleiter looking to wrap around center. Kind of surprised they're taking it from this side.
It's the path they know better, and maybe they feel more comfortable calling the curl on this side than the other side, because the other side we saw really huge finish.
Spots.
I mean, if it finishes so hard, it's probably pretty tough to bury on that side. It would just pop out the other side. And also this way, if it over curls, it won't leave a hit and roll behind the corners.
Ah, that's a good call, Sean.
This is a really good line.
Well done. Yeah.
That's pretty much perfect. Just top 4 foot, dead buried.
I think there's enough yeah, there's definitely enough separation. I think we'll get to it, but
You can get to it and at least tap it back. I don't think you're trying to remove it. It's late enough in the end that it's going to be tough to make use of those corners now.
yeah.
I don't see any of it.
Best bet is just throw back house, wait, back 8, back 12. That's re-signaling. Just tap it back. Try and create a couple of jam possibilities.
Where to put the ice?
Well, this is all about
room.
this is all about trusting that huge swing and knowing that it's going to finish hard.
Yeah, it looked like he moved the broom quite a bit there and stepping away from it, trying to talk himself into it. Looking at the other side now, possibly.
Yeah, there's definitely some discussion about, and now instead of trying to go around at all, they're just going to play the straight run back. Oh, no. Oh.
That's gonna roll to even.
Oh, it's not quite what they wanted. I don't know. Might have been a good time for the third man to come down and talk about it instead of back and forth about let's come this way, let's come that way, and now let's do something else entirely. And yeah, they got the guard out of the way, but they probably would not have liked to put another opposing stone in the rings.
No, it's funny. They always say it's usually never a bad idea to peel the guard, but as we can see, that seemed to be one instance where maybe that wasn't the right call.
So just looking to put a cap on this one.
Yeah.
Want to fully cover it. Not overly worried about leaving any roll behind the corner. That's too far over to be a nuisance too late in the end.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice depth. I feel like Muyres' best option now is to try and at least move this one behind the tee line.
Yeah.
You got to at least open up your draw path of some sort. You're probably getting forced this end. So it's just about what do I want to leave myself on my last one.
Seems to be an awful lot of discussion here. Are they talking about where they can roll to and
I'm talking about where I think where to push this and what they want to leave. Listening, we do not have access to any of the on ice audio, so we don't know what's being discussed or what they're saying. We can only go off of gestures and boom taps.
yeah.
it's just about moving this behind the tee line, trying not to roll your shooter off at least as much as possible. Ending up shot would obviously be great, but that's kind of, that would have to be really perfect to make that happen.
Sweeper's going a little harder on this now. Seems to be coming in quite nicely. Still a little bit of curling to do.
There's hard finish. We've seen it.
There it
Got
is.
beautiful line. Does it have the weight?
That's
That's not a bad shot. That's really not a bad shot.
pretty decent result here.
Well, because now you see, look at the angle on those yellows. Right.
Yeah.
He's second shot, but it's buried. Yes, yellow is shot, but they have to do something with that angle on the right there. You can easily come off of that and make an in-off double, score 2 that way. So it doesn't look like much. It's kind of an unassuming little shot there by Dallan, but that's pretty good.
So now Kleiter's got to think, what are we looking at here? Essentially, you're either, oh gosh, you could ever play off your own?
I think that's actually the best call. I think you can't leave that. You just can't leave that. And they're also wondering, is there any angle for 2 by playing a tap on that red? And I don't think you can see enough of it.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to throw more weight in order to move 2 rocks.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to move that clear out of the 8-foot for it to count. So
I think they're talking about hitting and rolling in off of their own. You could also just peel it out of there too.
yeah. I think early on, I mean, if no need to try this at 2 here, right? I think stealing 1 is pretty fantastic.
Stealing
So
1's
maybe
nice.
peeling.
I mean, this is a little bit of a let's go for the gusto kind of shot.
Yeah.
I mean, if they make it really good, if they can ever hit and roll and sandwich themselves right in between the 2 stones in the 4-foot, they're in really good shape. Then they're pretty much guaranteed to steal at least 1.
Yeah.
The only thing you can't really afford to do playing this is to hit your 2 thin, stick on the side of your 1 in the 4-foot, push it out, and then suddenly Muyres might have an open hit for 2. So I think you need to err on hitting this a little bit thick rather than thin.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking it may be in favor of, like I said, just peeling it out, but they should be able to manage this well with this kind of weight.
Rolls in there for second, but I don't.
There's a double there, yeah.
It's these kinds of doubles are tricky because even though as close as they are, you have to just barely touch the high one to make it right.
That little redirect, yeah.
Because if you hit more than, I don't know if you'd want to hit more than a quarter of that, any more than that, you're just going to hit and you're going to glance off the shot stone and go out the side door.
Yeah.
All depends on how much air you see.
Yeah, from the overhead cam, doesn't look like there's a lot of room there.
I don't feel like you need to throw a ton of weight to make this shot. You can probably make it with just control weight because you only have to touch that 1 on the right.
Yeah.
Just kind of, feather off of it, hit an inch of it into the shot stone. I think it's there. I really do.
No other great options here, yeah. I mean, there's a
Not
slash
really.
to sit one or this run here of some sort.
Well, there's this tap up to the stone on the button to maybe get one, but
Yeah.
that's at best one, and that's a really hard shot. I figure if you're going to try a hard shot, why not try the one that has a better outcome?
Yeah, exactly.
And I go back to what I said earlier about Team Kleiter could just rip their own out, just lose the shooter, lose the one they're hitting, and then this shot isn't there. It's like, what does Dallan do at that point? Yeah, but we know that there's big finish on this side of the ice, so I think just throw like a control hit weight, let it curl up. You hit maybe just a couple of inches of the rock that the broom is next to, redirect into the shot stone, and I think it's there for two.
How to sweep from the line here. Guard's coming up awfully quick here.
Gotta go to get by. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, look at that.
Well done.
What a great
shot.
Oh, really, really nice touch. So Dallan Muyres pulls out the goods that end and earns his team a very hard-fought deuce to tie the game up. We'll have the third end from Leduc right after this. Welcome back for the third end of our Seaside matchup from the Curling Stadium Alberta Curling Series Major between Dallan Muyres and Rylan Kleiter, two Saskatchewan teams duking it out in this Seaside elimination game. It's win or go home for these two teams. Winner of this game will play 8 o'clock Mountain Time tonight against American team Scott Dunham.
Yeah, been a great game so far. We had a few half shots, unlucky breaks with James in the first end, but then a few really, really interesting shots here in the second end. So.
Yeah, that hammer shot from Dallan Muyres last time was really something special. That was really great shot. Well thrown, well swept.
Yeah, it's one of those shots that's sneaky, very, very good, very tough. I don't think people understand like how kind of thin you had to catch, the top rock there.
Absolutely.
To redirect cleanly.
Yeah, at this level, some of these players make those kind of shots look easy, but believe me, they are not. There's a lot that goes into successfully executing a shot like that. Muyres threw up the center guard this end. Kleiter elected to come around. Muyres going to look to freeze on that stone.
Looks like he's got plenty of room, but should have some pretty hard finish here. Yep.
Gets about to half of a rock. Pretty good shot. So far, I'm not seeing the really huge finish coming this way versus the other way.
Yeah.
Still curls in good, but the going the other way, going towards the home end, it looks like it seems to really dive towards the center at the end. That's just part of reading the ice. It's part of the game, knowing what one side will do and the other side won't.
Now, for someone like me who doesn't know a lot about ice conditions, so what can make it? Is it just really how the ice is in that particular spot?
There's a number of factors in terms of ice quality. It could be something about that section of the floor. It could be something about the pebble right there. Something about the scraping or the nipping pattern. There are so many variables that go into it. It's hard to point to just one thing, but every curling club, every arena, every sheet is going to have its own little characteristics, and those are things that you file away, and then it's like, well, this kind of shot is possible on this line, but then over on this line, I know it's not, and so that can that can affect on what you call and how you call it.
This one seems to be.
This is way over
curling, yeah. And touch light, but geez.
Not a terrible result. I mean, play is stacked in the middle, which is where Team Muyres would like it without the hammer.
Yeah.
The only problem is that Kleiter is sitting 2 in there right now. They're about to bring a third one in and get a little messy. Again, Team Kleiter playing 3-handed this game. Don't know if that's been the case all weekend or not, but really hasn't hurt them so far. They're playing well.
No, and as we saw towards the end of last year, 3-man teams sometimes works out okay.
It certainly does. Yeah. So that one was a touch heavy. Bounces just a little bit. Not bad. That yellow in the middle of that phalanx there is not going anywhere no matter what you do.
Now, for Kleiter there on that last shot, would you ever consider just ripping the guards and trying to open it up, or since you were sitting first and second, to go ahead and
you could, but that's kind of an ultra defensive call.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the call as it was. He had superior position and doesn't seem concerned about playing around center guards with hammer. Some teams really don't like to do that. And honestly, if you can get a team to be playing runbacks like this without the hammer, you're doing your job as a team with the hammer.
That's true.
So trying to make a little noise here, get a couple of yellows scattered. Pretty good result. They only got one, but it's a lot better. They've got 2 of their own in the control position in front of the T line on the center line. And even though yellow is sitting 2,
yeah, I mean, interesting position here because you still got that center guard up there that's controlling that maybe important rock here, that top 12 in the center.
Yeah, kind of a bad break that it ended up leaving Kleiter sitting shot stone half 4 foot, and there's actually 2 stones protecting in front of it. A little unfortunate result on that, even as good as that shot was. So we'll see how this pans out. Where's this going?
Ooh, just papers. Oof.
They definitely didn't want to do that. They were looking for a
That's
nose hit there.
Bit of bad luck there. Good on the sweeper to keep it up because I thought it was pretty close to the guard, but then. Oof.
So now the question becomes, how much of this can Muyres see? Looks like
Yeah.
the camera is true. Looks like about 2/3.
Yeah.
Thick half.
And we just saw a shot down the side, so should be pretty comfortable with it. I think initially he was thinking about just wrapping around everything, but it's a pretty decent chance to get both moving here.
Yeah, I don't think you're necessarily trying to kill both of these. You're just trying to get them out from behind the guard, leave yours in a control position where it can be used later.
Holding up to make sure to get the high side, but maybe holding it up too good. Gets it probably a little thinner than they wanted, but
Yeah, they definitely didn't want to roll out there. They were trying to get as close to nose as they could. Now where they pushed that yellow, seems like it might be kind of blocked by that back one. So Muyres sitting one, but not really in a good position. They could just see Kleiter hit that.
yeah. Just some discussion on where they want to roll to and then leave them here.
Well, I think they're also talking about, do we want to hit that? Because even though that stone is shot right there, it actually is acting as a catcher for their own.
Yeah, if they are taking on that red onto red. Oh, and then peeling it and trying to catch the back one on the way.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Because that center guard is a little bit of a problem for them. So I don't mind this. But here you want to be sure if you aren't going to get it just right, hit it a little thin and just peel the guard off.
Yeah.
And that's what they do, no problem.
Oh, a bit of a decision here for Muyres.
Yeah, no guards, 2 enemy stones in the rings. You'd love to hit the shot rock. It's not the easiest shot in the world, but it's there. The nice thing is if you try the yellow double, you actually can you can see just about what you need to make the double. Actually, I don't think you even want to hit all you can see to make that. So it kind of frames it for you a little bit.
Looks like they're also talking about maybe just drawing, yeah? So you're gonna draw up behind the staggered rocks in the top 8 foot.
Yeah, that's not a bad call either. That's a little on the aggressive side. You're only going around stones in the 8 foot, so you're probably not going to get fully buried. But I think if you play the yellow double, you're going to leave a red double, and then Kleiter might be able to get out of this end with a blank. If you want to force one, I think this is the way to do it. But this is going sideways.
Oof.
Not sure what happened to that one. That went crazy. Tough break there for Team Muyres. That's set up to make a fairly straightforward red double.
Yeah.
I don't quite think you can get rid of all 3 of them, but you can certainly push that red on the center out of the way.
Yeah, and push it to where it's essentially third. Yeah, just
Yeah, you
that's
basically
good.
push it to where it's of not much consequence, but Team Kleiter will be in good shape to get 2. Actually, almost made all 3 of them. Oh, very, very close.
Wow, a little
And-
bit of a bad break to catch that one a little thin.
Well, that's a really bad break because not only did they leave Team Muyres' shot, but now it's buried behind staggered yellows. How do you get to it?
Yeah.
It's those yellows are close enough. You might be able to make them drag a little bit. If you were to hit the pair on the center line side as we look at it, you might be able to get that second yellow going back a little straighter and catch a piece of it. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think that's going to come into play on where they want to put this one here. You don't want to leave it too close, but again, if you feel like you're going, key or back button, then you're almost giving them an out here.
I think Dallan's considering maybe throwing a guard on this. That's a really scary thing to do when opponent has hammer. They've got 3 stones in the rings. You don't want to be throwing guards.
Yeah. But I'm looking at the way it's set up here. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could. Ooh, picking that one out. I don't know if I like that.
It's a pretty defensive call, but I think he doesn't want to disturb the situation in the middle and set something up for them.
Yeah.
And I can kind of understand that because if you're trying to come around the situation in the middle, it'd be really easy. You wouldn't need to be far off of where you wanted to end up leaving them some kind of double.
Yeah.
And to give them a shot to sit 3. So this is a fairly defensive call, but I don't mind it.
No.
Get one out of the way and make them do something with this situation in the middle.
Yeah. We'll see who blinks first on those yellows. Okay. To go. Yep. Ooh.
Not sure how much I liked hitting that on the nose.
Yeah, now it's pretty accessible there. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward double here.
I was thinking just rip that one out. Just lose the shooter. Make them find a way to deal with that backstone, but
yeah.
Looking at probably a thick half or so on this one.
Yeah, it should be pretty close.
Going with the turn that will accelerate the bounce. So that way you can hit it a little bit thicker and still make the shot. Close. Just like that.
That is some work on the sweep to hold it up, and then also to get the red pretty far out there.
Now the question is, will there be any drag on those top 2 to perhaps allow Muyres to catch that back one? We're going to see. Got to hit it pretty hard to get the top one out of there.
Yeah.
I think it will drag just a little bit. I think it'll be close.
You wanted to make a prediction on this one, Sean?
What exactly am I predicting here?
Are they going to catch the back one at all? Catch a piece. We're not saying necessarily out, but catch a piece of the back one.
If he hits where the broom is, I think yes. I think it will catch a piece. Will it go out? I don't know because it might actually catch on the red. We will see in just a moment. He hit it too fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not where he wanted to hit that, and just like that, Kleiter looking at a draw to the 8-foot to pick up 3. That opportunity really presented itself after Muyres' first shot, nose hit, left the double.
Yeah.
Really not an overly hard double for many players at this level, and then just kind of got a little bit unlucky on his last one, just really over curled.
Yeah, so it's good to know for the fans that may be wondering what all the conversation is. At this level, you have to be pretty mindful where your leaves are.
That's exactly it. I was going to say something Russ Howard likes to say a lot. It's not so much what you make, it's what you leave.
Sweeper's walking this down. Looks like to be just to the backing here.
No problem. No mistake there. Big 3 points. Rylan Kleiter now leads Dallan Muyres 5-2. Muyres will get the hammer back in the 4th end, and we'll have that for you right after this. All right, back for the 4th end. Dallan Muyres versus Rylan Kleiter. Big 3-ender for Rylan Kleiter last end. Kind of a patient 3. Just got their stones in good positions. Got a couple of mistakes. Muyres with the hammer will be looking for some offense. Try to at least get 2 back on the board this end.
Yeah, a couple shots that I'm sure they'd like to have back here after a couple really nice shots back in the 2nd end. But that's the way curling goes sometimes.
Pretty nicely placed guard. In that situation, you're always trying to cover at least the side that's nearest the guard, so you don't leave a hit and roll. That's pretty much perfectly covered. So
pretty good, yeah.
Muyres will now Saw him do this a couple ends ago. He'll typically ignore the center situation, establish a corner, and then just go right around it.
Well, from the screen here, it looks a little tight going through there, but there's plenty of space there, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's lots of room.
Signaling that might be a hair up here, but starting to grab a little bit.
There's that hard finish again. There's
Yep.
definitely a lot more finish in hogline in on this end than the other end.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like overburied, but enough finish here that Kleiter believes they can get to it.
Yeah, you can get to this. Just throw, hack weight or so.
Good separation with the guard here, so should be a little accessible. I'm gonna stay on it here to get it around, but looks to just clear it.
Just by the guard, out of the rings. Nicely played.
Now, do we go under again, or do we start worrying about what's piling up here in the middle?
Oh, that's the decision. Because if you go into the center, you might see Team Kleiter run up and peel off that corner, and then the play is going to be entirely in the center.
Yeah.
But the way this is set up, I think you kind of have to do something in the middle right now. A freeze or tap of some kind wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I can try to set up a little wall of catchers here in the back 8 foot.
There goes that big finish again. This might be missing the stone in the house. Oh, it was just freeze weight.
Yeah, sweepers didn't seem to be overly concerned with it. It held up just in time.
Yeah, it gets in there for second, but this situation definitely favoring Team Kleiter. The play is in the middle. They've got to guard their shot stone. Team Muyres will probably have to make some noise on this this next couple of shots to open things up a little bit, give themselves a chance.
Yep, it's coming in. Now, is there ever a shot where you take this maybe out turn and almost play like a little split there?
On the red, you mean?
Yeah, on the red, yeah.
You could. I don't know how much they can see. I guess probably see a little bit, but yeah, that might not. That's an option. I would say throw out turn, come through, tap it on the shot stone, maybe roll your shooter behind the corner.
Yeah. Or even rolling low, it's not too bad, but
yeah. Instead of electing to play the in turn, come around freeze.
Out there is a win. But again, this is the side that does finish, so.
Yeah, sweepers are just watching it. It must be looks pretty toasty. Ooh.
Oof.
Going right by is not ideal.
Not ideal.
I have a former teammate who had a very perfect word for shots like that. She'd say it was suboptimal.
Suboptimal? I like
suboptimal.
that.
Snakers, if you're listening, you know.
All right, so what are we looking at here? Top 8, top 4?
You can probably do pretty much what Team Muyres just tried. If you can come down to your own, or even kind of cornered up to the red, would be pretty good. Really close down the scoring area.
This one hanging out there a bit as well.
This has to move a lot.
Oh. That is
not where they wanted that.
That is suboptimal.
That is very definitely suboptimal. Yeah, that had really nice weight, just didn't curl. If it got out wider into a straighter track or something, but all of a sudden, pretty good chance to make something happen.
Yeah, you kind of let him off the
Myers.
hook here. It looks like he's pointing out that they don't have to necessarily get rid of shot stone, but just move it a touch.
No, there's lots of there's still relatively early in the end. I mean, this is only their 5th rock. They have plenty of shots yet to come. So get this one in a good spot is the first point. This looks like it needs to move.
This is just fooling everyone right now.
I'm not sure what's. It's a couple in a row we've seen on this line kind of go awry. There must be a straight spot over there that's
Must be a
fooling them.
spot that's tricking everyone. But let's keep throwing at it and see what's going on. So, Kleiter still has that kind of corner freeze onto the red, but possibly looking just playing the hit if they're not sure what that line is doing here.
Hit's not a bad call up 3. I feel like there's really no sense in leaving too many Myers stones around. You don't want to get overly aggressive and leave too many of their rocks around and give them a chance for a big score. Obviously, forcing or stealing here is great, but even holding them to 2 is good. You still have control of the game. I think he called to actually try and roll behind their shot stone and act as a catcher for it.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, over rolls and settles into the back 8, but not bad. I feel like the time has come to play the shot you talked about a little while ago. This out turn through the port, tap the red up, and roll the shooter off. Because feels like that in-turn side has not been working really for either team so far this end.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, Sean.
So obviously it's important to make sure you tap the shot stone up on this one and hopefully get shot, but probably equally as important is to get the shooter out of there. You have to roll the shooter out of there.
Yeah. Looks to be pretty close here. Curling up. Oh,
wrecked.
no.
Oof.
That's one. Yeah, because you can even be wide and just come to the back ones at least, but you can't miss it that way. Again, we talked about earlier, like where you can miss your tolerance.
Yeah, it curls so much. Basically, as long as you get through, you're probably making through the port. You're probably making contact with your red. You gotta make sure you get through. That must have just really snapped and caught them off guard. But the nice thing for Myers is that Kleiter really doesn't have any way to hit that red out of there. There's just all kinds of stones behind it.
Yeah,
so they're probably just gonna have to guard this.
you like coming across the center for this guard here on the side.
Yeah, you're basically guarding the shot that Myers just tried.
Yeah,
fully cover the red. You can actually, as long as you're covering the outside half as we're looking at it, you've taken away the shot that they want to play. Has to get all the way across the center line, though.
Switching sides here to get a little bit more finisher. Go a little bit more, yeah. Cover the outside half as you
I think that
mentioned.
does the job quite
That's
nicely.
pretty good. Well swept, well managed.
Now, what does Muyres have? Not much that's good.
No. I was gonna say that angle for his last one, and
Angling his corner guard, you mean?
yeah,
I almost don't wonder if you play that now, because that's as
That's
ugly
there.
as it is. That's probably the best shot, because anything else involves running in an opposition stone,
yeah,
and that's an awfully nervy thing to be doing when you have your lonely little apple in there in the sea of lemons. And also, if you don't play that now, you might not have it
yeah,
on your last one.
yeah. It's almost interesting. Yeah, you're gonna have to play it at some point. The question is, I guess, do you rip the guard and force him to put it back and then save it for your last one, or just go ahead and take it now?
I feel like you mean ripping the guard they just threw?
Yeah,
I feel like asking them to, hoping for them to miss just putting a guard back is, they're probably not going to miss that.
no.
So I don't really know if that's worthwhile.
Yeah,
Looks like he's going to try to clear these two center guards.
gosh, I'm not. Yeah, I hadn't considered this, but I mean, I guess it kind of.
Well, it's not bad because it at least opens up the shot rock, and at best they can put one guard back on it and not two.
Yeah, because they can always cover the entrance side, but then might leave a little skinny, port.
Right. Whoa.
Whoa, a little bit of early season wobbles there.
He still made the shot, though.
Still made the double peel, so.
I can't speak for anybody else, but some of my best shots have come when I fall on my butt out of the hack.
Yep, just looking to put up a guard here and pretty much, yeah, touch the center. Should be all right.
Yeah, just touch a piece of the center line. That's really all you need. I would say that's probably where you want to be, is tight to the rings and just biting center. Because if it curls any more than that, we've seen the huge finish. You might leave Dallan some kind of come around tap.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, it definitely will finish that side.
That drops right where they want it. No mistake there.
Pretty good. Very patient by the sweepers, not to knowing that it'll finish and just pretty much get to that center line.
Now, really, the only two shots I see now are either you run the guard they just played, try to pick the shot stone and get your one, or you run your corner in there and maybe get two. I feel like the corner is probably the only shot that's worth playing because it's at least a chance at two.
Yeah.
And I'm so against running an opposition stone in there in this kind of situation.
Now with the depth of that guard, is there any way to swing it around? Because I mean, you're just moving
Shot rock, 3 feet.
No, because it's way overburied. I mean, it does finish hard on that side, but it doesn't finish that hard.
Yeah.
And consider you got to move that thing pretty much all the way out of the 4 foot. You got to throw at least back 8 to back 12.
Yeah.
So yeah. The way this is set up, I don't really think you can hurt yourself. I don't think there's a way to hit that red in such a way that you're ever giving up more than one.
Yeah.
Because if you hit this too thin and it kind of goes into the top of that red, it's just going to go straight back onto the yellows in the back 8 foot and still be second. So a bit of a Hail Mary on this one, but one that's really, you don't really have much else to play, so may as well. Looking to hit probably a thick 3/4. Try and stick it on your own. Stick that one on the shot rock.
Doesn't look too happy with it out of his hand.
Yeah, when they stand up, yeah, way over curl. So really tough shot anyways.
That's a tough shot.
So that's going to go in the books as steal of 1 for Rylan Kleiter. They now lead Dallan Muyres 6-2 in this all-Saskatchewan Seaside matchup from Leduc. 5th end, Muyres will have the hammer, and they'll need to get the offense going, and we'll have that right after this. Back now with the 5th end. Rylan Kleiter, the commanding 6-2 lead over Dallan Muyres. This is a seaside elimination matchup from Curling Stadium, Alberta Curling Series Major in Leduc, Alberta. My name is Sean Murray. Again, with me on the mic is Ryan and Go. Really, so far, I'd say it's just pretty straightforward. Team Kleiter is just playing an overall more solid game than Muyres. They're getting set up better, and they've had Muyres chasing most of this game.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd say there's been a couple tricky spots that, a couple just flat out misses as a result, and can't make too many misses at this level.
Now down 4. Muyres has to go fairly hard on the offense. They're trying to stack their corners on the side. Those two are a bit closer together and staggered than they would like.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see some big peels here pretty soon.
Yeah, it'll depend. If there have been a couple situations already in this game where I figured Team Kleiter might do some peeling, but they've elected to stay aggressive and it's paid off. Generally, the later in the game and the wider the score difference, the less worth it is to stick with that kind of strategy. So we'll see if they opt to go on defense.
Yeah, four's a pretty big lead, but definitely can make it up in a couple ends here. Looks like they're opting to play this double here.
Yeah, gonna get rid of this one that's in the top of the house. Maybe try to catch the one on the button if they can. Main thing for them now is they got to keep their weights down because they have to keep their stones in play. They got to be fairly aggressive and keep rocks around.
It's pretty good make there.
Yeah, they didn't remove it, but with that kind of weight, they weren't trying to, and that pushed it to a really good spot behind the tee line, behind the corner guards. That's a stone they can definitely use. So very nice shot. And so here we go. Team Kleiter is going to start going on the defense. Can't really blame them. Up 4. This setup as it is right now doesn't really favor them that much, so they recognize it's time to clear.
Does not get the second corner. A bit of a surprise.
Yeah, missed the tight one, but they get one out of there, but I think they were definitely hoping to move both of those because they still left a corner there. Their own stone is still way behind it in the back of the house. And they also left another of their own in play on the side. So right now, advantage Team Muyres. They've got the setup and the space they need to play some draws and hopefully get some points this end. Keep this in front of the tee line if you can. Little deep.
Not super up to date on my Saskatchewan curlers here. So is Jordan? I assume is he a brother of Tyler?
Tardy, you mean?
Yeah.
I would have to guess. I mean, I don't know how common the last name Tardy is, especially within the curling world, but
Yeah.
I saw that too, and I kind of figured. But if anyone knows of the relation between them,
yeah. If anyone in the chat,
we just got informed that yes, it turns out that Jordan actually is Tyler Tardy's brother. Thank you for that. The curling world is pretty small.
Oh, hi to Megan in the chat. I know she's been with us for quite a few of the draws today.
turns out that Jordan Tardy did play with his brother Tyler until this season. Tyler got recruited by some guy named Kevin Cooey. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
No, everyone knows who Kevin Cooey is.
Yeah.
So
Ooh, just
hit,
barely.
and I believe that is still just touching the rings.
Just barely hanging on.
But Muyres still with another opportunity to get behind that guard. Try and keep this one a little bit higher.
Sweepers are off this one. Getting further and further away from the rock, which isn't a great sign.
Yeah, that usually means it's got all the mustard it needs on its own, and that's typically not a good thing. That ended up pretty good. That is pretty much dead buried. There's enough room, you can probably still tap this. You don't necessarily need to remove it, but if you can just tap it out of the 8-foot, you can sit too.
Yep. Yeah, that's more important, just so you're sitting 1-2 here.
Yeah, it's not always about removing the opposition stone. It's just about pushing it into a spot where it's really not any good for the opponent.
Hard sweep here.
And I gotta go hard to get by. I don't think they're gonna.
Nope. Let's see if they can sweep this on, which they can.
Well, that shot was good enough that it did create a mistake. Muyres got the wreck, and now it's about, okay, how best do I secure my 2 this end?
So he's setting up to look to where if you can go behind those corners there, it's a little bit of a stagger, but then, you know, Kleiter can just play a little tap onto it. So do you're on the other side.
Yeah, I feel like coming behind the situation on the left or doing something over here is definitely the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, if they look high, it's just a little tap. You know, it's never fun going behind T, but you have the backing back there, and you can kind of try to secure a deuce that way, which I think is the call.
Yeah, they're trying to go around this. I don't think you necessarily need to fully bury it. If you can just get this 2/3 buried, that's good enough.
Sweeper's walking away from this one, begging it for it to stop. Should come down. I think maybe just a hair open. Nope, there's a little bit of finish there.
Well, does settle in there for second shot, but it slips quite a ways deep. That gives Team Kleiter an out. Play a hit and a long roll. They can take them both out of play.
Yeah, that angle's pretty good for this hit. Yeah, it's pretty natural to get over there.
Yeah, and it's just a hit and roll. That's all it is. Just
yeah,
trying to roll somewhere in front of it. You can be right in front of it. You can be half in front of it. You can be 1 inch just in front of 1 inch of it, and every one of those accomplishes the same goal.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially with those, that red yellow stagger, yeah, even if you show half of it, it's still going to be tough to get out because of that red behind it. So just any sort of good roll over there.
Yep. And if you hit this one a little bit thin, you can, of course, crash right into it and sit there. And again, mission accomplished. So a little bit of room on this shot. You don't have to be perfect. There's a few ways to make it. move a little.
A little thick.
Yeah, just didn't quite finish for him. Now, if you're Muyres, a little bit of a decision to make here.
Yeah.
You basically got two ways of looking at this. You can hit and roll to the open side, leave Kleiter probably the same shot. Certainly not an easy shot, and you have fairly well secured a deuce that way. If you're trying to get 3, you might try and roll behind the corners. But the only problem is you may end up just behind the tee line. If you go behind the tee line and then Kleiter makes a good freeze, you've lost everything.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's all about risk reward, basically. Down 4, I think maybe trying to go under the corner is your best bet. It's a chance to maybe get 3, and I think you have to take it.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
you get just 2, you're going to be down 2 without the hammer, only 3 ends left, and that's just not a good position.
Yeah, definitely something to consider, for difference at 8 and 10 game.
I feel like earlier in a game you might just play for the deuce, but later in the game like this, I think you have to. The scoreboard says you have to give this a go.
This should be pretty close. Maybe just a hair thin, but should be all right. Oh,
Man,
just too thin.
didn't want to roll out.
So, Kleiter now looking just to freeze there and basically effectively get rid of that red.
Yeah, that was a big opportunity there. So if you want to be sure of the force to 1, you want to take this one all the way right down to the face of that red. You can leave it a little short, a couple feet short will still accomplish the mission, but any more room than that, you may give Muyres some kind of difficult shot to tap and roll to still maybe get his 2.
Plenty of room on this one. Maybe just a hair up. It's coming down. It's gonna have to curl to catch a corner here.
Ooh, it actually chapped off just a bit. That's going to give Muyres all he needs.
Yep. So, just a quiet weight shot. Get a deuce back.
Yeah, no need to throw more than, I'd say, just good board on this. You can see the whole rock. No need to overcomplicate it.
Looks gotta curl a little bit here.
Yes, it does. Has to sit.
Has to sit.
Oh. Man.
Jeez.
Two missed opportunities there in a row. Dallan Muyres only able to score 1, and that's going to hand the hammer back to team Rylan Kleiter. And they are up 6-3, so in full control of this game. We'll have the 6th end for you from Leduc right after this. So back now in the 6th end between Dallan Muyres and Rylan Kleiter. Muyres had a relatively straightforward shot to get 2 last end, and it just kind of sailed on him. He was only able to get 1. And so now down 3 without the hammer. Has to really go hard. At this point, you can't really afford to let Team Kleiter score anymore. So center guard up. We'll see lots of offense, lots of aggressive play from Team Muyres here as they definitely trying to steal a point this end if they can.
Is there, for this event, is there a minimum amount of ends? I think some people would have thought maybe we would have seen shakes after only getting 1 this past end.
I don't believe there is. Typically, you only see minimum ends at like playdowns and regionals and nationals and that sort of thing. But at an event like this, I don't think there's a minimum number of ends. I've been at seen other tour events where a game ended after 2 ends.
Oh gosh.
I mean, usually it's because somebody took 5 and then stole 3 or something. Like it's totally out of control.
Yeah.
So a couple of center guards up. Kleiter can't peel anything just yet, so they're just going to come around. But I imagine on their next stone, they're going to race up there and peel those things as quickly as they can.
Yep. Yeah, to John Studd in the chat. Yep, you are hearing correctly. That is Sean Murray in commentary. Who's joined by me, Mark Ngo, in commentary today.
Well, yes, John Studd, it is me, as Mark said. So looking to come around, and this is
this
well past the guards, running like it's heavy.
Yeah, with that weight, I wasn't sure if they were trying to hit those or
I can't
like
imagine they
freeze
were.
or Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense. You've got those guards. You use them.
So as predicted, Kleiter kind of power walks up to the guards and says, "Let's start clearing."
Oh, so John Hale from Potomac.
John Hale. Oh man, that is a name I haven't heard in a long time. John, hope you're well. It's been a while.
Peels the top here successfully. Would have liked to get both, but it's just fine at this point.
The 2 was kind of a bonus. The way they were staggered, it was
Yeah.
tough to try getting both without maybe punching one back into the house. So I think just the single is totally fine.
Yeah, with a 3-point lead, you can kind of take your time with that. And
Yeah,
Dylan
you don't need to get everything. You just peel one at a time. Their mission this end is just to score, even if it's
Yep.
just one. They'll be in full control of the game. I imagine if they can score 2, they might get handshakes.
Yeah. This one's still in the open here.
Yeah, that one didn't finish behind the guard for them.
Yeah. Probably no point in going for the double here, with considering there's some jam possibilities, but
A double would be kind of a bonus. It'd be nice to make, but it's not really an absolute requirement.
yeah. And I like going at it from this way here. Pretty close.
Oh, well,
Oh,
just like that. Gets kind of a half flip under that guard there, and this is not looking like a fantastic setup for Team Muyres so far.
no. Gonna have to draw back 4 a couple times here and
Yeah,
hope for some misses.
They can't afford to hit anything. You could maybe make an argument for playing a tap on that stone. Just try to set up a pocket behind the tee line. But they have to execute, and they're going to need a little bit of help from Team Kleiter in the form of some misses.
Yeah.
By the guard, now they have to get by the stone in the house, and I don't think they're going to.
Yep. And this is a bit swingy coming back.
Yeah, it doesn't even get in there for third shot. And Kleiter can't run up there fast enough to peel this guard off, and Muyres is really going to have nowhere to hide.
Yeah, what's the plan here? Freeze into the back one, or
I don't know. You need to steal. I mean, you absolutely need to steal, and there are no guards in play. There's not much that's good. I mean, again, I think maybe the tap something around, tap yours behind the tee line, tap theirs behind the tee line. That's the only way you're ever gonna possibly manufacture a steal at this point.
this one appears to be pretty close to what they're calling. Maybe over curling a touch. Yeah, they miss. Oof.
I feel like they were actually trying to tap their own, and that over curled, and they got caught in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been enough. Yeah, they could have tried to push it a little bit over to get that yellow, but I don't think they're moving it far enough behind T. And now trying to see how to go about this.
I think you just go for the one that's touching the center line. Hit it on
Yeah.
the center line side. Half rock, you'll just peel it clean out. If you get a
Yeah.
third, you may actually be able to move both of them.
Yeah,
But
just get it off the backside. Yeah.
yeah. There's any attempt to try a double by going in the pocket, you're
Oh
more than likely going to end up jamming it into one of your own. You don't need to do that.
no. One rock at a time is just fine.
Absolutely. Oh, and there you go.
Can't ask for much better here.
Not really. Yeah, Muyres needs help, and he's just not getting it.
Yeah, I mean he can push it back a little bit, but once the shooter dead stays, it's probably a relatively routine pick.
Yeah, I wonder if you don't play to just tap this. Don't even get all the way to the nose. Hit it a little, tap it a little bit on the broom side.
Yeah.
Tap it maybe 6 inches or so, and try to leave yours sort of in the middle to where it can't be removed. I think getting to the nose is too far.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're more concerned about where your shooter's going to roll and not necessarily where the target rock is going to end up.
Yeah, just trying to place this so that it can't be removed, or just removing it's very difficult. That's really all you've got at this point.
Sweeper's on. It looks to be over curling a bit. Oh, there it moves really hard.
Yeah, this is a tough enough shot on a line that doesn't finish hard, but on this line it's
Yeah.
3 times as hard. At really good weight, actually. That
Yeah.
just over curled by a couple of inches. You tap that kind of more towards the center, and it's a really good shot. It's tough to remove here. So this is just what I like to call a Visine shot. Just get the red out.
Yeah. Nice.
Not really concerned about maybe losing one of your own on the way by, as long as the red leaves the house.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I almost actually probably prefer get rid of a couple of your.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. A clean. I don't think you want to just pick this clean, because then you've got a big old catcher's mitt there for Muyres to draw one into.
If you get one or two on the way by, it's great.
Yeah, just kind of spread them out a little bit. That would be totally fine.
A little bit of wobbles with the up weight again, early in the season, but should have no problem getting this. Yep.
Just picks it clean.
All right.
I wonder if they smashed the bumper over there a little bit.
I guess so, yeah. All right. Talking about where to put this freeze and if they can bump it a little bit, maybe.
I don't think you want to bump it if you can help it.
Yeah.
You want to be all the way. You want to be all the way down to that one and favor the side away from center ever so slightly.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you almost. Oh, yeah. If you just freeze it, okay. Are you surprised they're taking this side here, and not coming the other way?
They may not know the line on the other way. I mean, the other way would involve crossing center, and that could be unpredictable. This way, they know it moves. Plus, he just threw on this line, so they should have a pretty good idea what this does.
Yeah. He was really spot on with the weight last time. Just jumped a little bit more than they expected.
Well, I don't know what happened to that. That is well short of where it was supposed to be. Not sure if that picked her. I have a hard time believing it was that severely underthrown.
Yeah, considering he essentially made that shot, just his earlier throw, but been a tough game ever since those shots in two. Just couldn't find anything.
Yeah, this Team Kleiter just really controlling the pace of this game, mostly from the get-go. Now looking to hit the paint for four, kind of a formality at this point. I expect we'll see handshakes from Team Muyres after this.
Yeah, Dylan's already see him skating back towards the home end. 3-man teams, watch out.
They're deadly, I tell you. They really are.
Oh, is this heavy?
Oh, that's stopping.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's going to go in the books as a 10-3 win. Rylan Kleiter eliminates Dallan Muyres in this Seaside matchup. And they will move on to play Team Dunham at 8 o'clock tonight. Mark, thanks again.
Yeah,
for,
absolutely.
Good time. Thanks again to Rory McCusker, Jerry Gertz for doing stuff behind the scenes here. And for Mark and Go, this is Sean Murray signing off. Thanks for watching from Leduc.